Live from tape pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Hi everyone, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Lesley. This is a twice-monthly podcast about television, genre, and storytelling in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television one episode at a time.
If you're just now joining us, we're talking about Poker Face, the Peacock original comedy mystery series by Rian Johnson. Johnson announced the project in 2021, hot off the heels of the hit mystery movie Knives Out. The show is a case of the week mystery in the vein of Columbo and Murder, She Wrote, which we've obviously both covered already this season, but with a thin overarching plot connecting the episodes. That's not a criticism, by the way. I think the thin overarching plot is good and doesn't distract from the case of the week format, but it is pretty thin.
Okay.
The show was released in January of 2023 after Johnson's successful second Benoit Blanc movie, Glass Onion, was released in theaters. Which just means that this is Rian Johnson's new thing.
Yeah, it's just
He's
what
the
he does
mystery
now.
guy now.
He's Mr. Mystery Man. That's what he does.
Which, no complaints, I'm on board.
He does it really well. And it's great because, not to start talking about this before we start talking about this, but I just think that it's interesting because of the Star Wars situation.
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, let's talk about it, which is that, like, he made Star Wars Episode 8. That movie was received perfectly normally by perfectly normal people.
Sure.
And very, very poorly by people whose politics are informed by Gamergate.
Yes, correct. All of that is accurate.
I wish that movie weren't a culture war thing. Except I don't even think there's anyone that's like pro Star Wars Episode 8. I think people feel neutral or negative about it.
Yeah, I mean...
Or normal or negative about it, I should say.
The thing is, though, you know, that even some of the people who feel negatively about it don't feel negatively in the same way as the Gamergate people feel negatively about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a sliding scale, you know, of like honest criticism at the top, and then it's like the slippery slope down to, you know, it's super woke or whatever.
Yeah. The same people who complain every time there's a new casting update for a superhero movie.
Sure.
What type of casting? Oh, you know the kind.
Oh, you know the kind. Oh, are you talking about okay, what conservative beliefs are you talking about, like physically? No, you know the kind.
You know the kind.
You know the kind.
Yeah, so Disney has the tendency, and actually, I mean, and in total fairness, so does Warner Brothers, has the tendency to pre-announce a lot of projects at their big conferences, their big D23 events, in order, obviously, to build shareholder interest and hype, and obviously that's, you know, how the stock market works and all that.
Sure.
For Star Wars specifically, they have announced a lot of projects that have not ended up panning out.
Sure.
Including Patty Jenkins's Rogue Squadron movie that's been canceled.
Oh, right. That's right. God, I forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, that's not happening. The Game of Thrones guys sabotaged the final.
Oh my God, that's right. That's right. They completely squandered. They fumbled the bag is what they did.
Yeah.
They completely fumbled the bag.
Folks, if you don't know, they rushed their work, and it shows in the quality of the final season of Game of Thrones. Who
doesn't know about that? If you're listening to a television podcast, how could you not know what they did to Game of Thrones?
I think everyone knows that final season was bad. I don't know if everyone knows why it got bad. Or why they phoned it in. I would also phone in a job after 8 years, to be clear.
I mean, but it was the last season. Like, we're not here to talk about that, okay? We're not here to talk about that. let's get
anyway.
back on track.
They were offered like a Star Wars mini franchise that's
Right.
fallen through. I want to say there's like 2 others that haven't worked out.
Yeah.
Taika might have been doing one for a bit. I don't know.
He was supposed to be doing one, I think. There were whispers of that, and then it kind of went away, and now he's got his little indie movie that's coming out or whatever, and yeah.
They really just pick who's hot right now. Let's
Right.
assign them a franchise.
Yeah.
And that works more often for Marvel than it does for Star Wars, and it doesn't seem to be working for Star Wars.
It really does seem to be a lot of gutters and not a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
with
Marvel,
that method.
Feige seems to be doing a great job of snatching up younger directors, making them make a really gray-looking movie, and then like keeping that train going or whatever.
Sure.
On the other side, Star Wars is doing the exact same thing, but then the movies never come out,
Yeah, well,
and we get like Ahsoka Part 2 or whatever.
right. Well,
Say no more. Anyway, so Rian Johnson was going to make some Star Wars movies, and I much prefer him making fun little murder movies.
I agree. I completely agree. I think that this was a good. It was kind of a bit of a bullet dodge for Rian Johnson, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Playing in a sandbox in which like 25% of the people are always going to hate what you do.
Yeah.
Or anything else.
Well, and that's the thing is if the Star Wars thing hadn't fallen through, we wouldn't have Poker Face, definitely.
We wouldn't have Poker Face.
And that would be a real shame.
Yeah.
Because this show is a delight.
This show is a delight. And we probably wouldn't have a third Benoit Blanc movie coming out.
We probably would not. Probably would not.
That being said, do you want to talk about Natasha Lyonne?
Yeah. Natasha Lyonne plays Charlie Cale, a casino employee who works in an off-the-strip casino in Nevada, or Nevada if you live there. Charlie accidentally stumbles into a murder conspiracy involving a coworker of hers, a security guard, and casino management. And after Charlie purposely damages the casino's reputation, she goes on the lam, driving across the country and solving mysteries in small towns during her escape. Charlie uses a combination of her social skills, evidence-based detective work, and her innate ability to tell whether or not another person is lying to piece together the circumstances behind each grisly murder. Natasha Lyonne has been acting since she was a child, but you perhaps recognize her from Russian Doll and Orange is the New Black, both series from Netflix. So, yeah.
I like her.
Oh, she's so great. She's so great. But and another thing, too, is if you have not seen her iconic role in But I'm a Cheerleader, the film.
Oh, of course.
You should absolutely watch But I'm a Cheerleader. It's an incredible movie. She does a great job in it. Obviously, she's done a great job in everything. And she is just such a delight to watch. She's such a visual treat.
Oh,
like when she's on screen.
She is very animated.
Yes.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
engaging.
that's the clearest way I can say it. She's got a very she's got a good way she moves. She's got a good like structure for it. The way she like flaps her hands around in these episodes.
It's just
she's
such
got
a
a
treat.
really expressive, interesting face.
Such a
Obviously,
treat.
that huge head of curls.
I know.
She's got some like if we just spent like a whole season talking about animation and how important like the silhouette and the shapes of it all are. She's a person who, hey, much like Columbo, knows how to use like her body language and shape to really act out a character.
I agree, and I think
in the same way Peter Falk's always doing the kind of hunched
Oh
over.
yeah. Well, and she evoked that a lot in this role, and I think that it's kind of difficult to really even appreciate sometimes how heavily she did such a lovely pastiche, due to the fact that she, as a general person, also happens to have some of these same quirks, traits, tics, etc.
Yes.
So it can be difficult to be like, that's clearly an homage. But I think that if you are familiar enough with her body of work, particularly Russian Doll, then you can tell a very, very distinct difference between those two characters.
Lil Ray Howery plays Taffy Boyle, the charismatic radio personality and business end of the Boyle barbecue operation. Even though Taffy has his own radio show and is beloved by his customers, he knows that George is the real star of the show. Some brotherly jealousy and questions about his own finances lead Taffy to do the unthinkable.
Dun, dun,
Lil
dun.
Ray Howery produced and wrote the sketch show Friends of the People and was a voice actor on what I believe is a hit show, Craig of the Creek. I think people really like that one.
Okay.
3 episodes, but that's more than I've ever done.
I mean, yeah. That's, yeah. I kind of want to talk about this cast.
Hit me.
But let's go. Well, I just want to, let's get through the rest of the cast first.
Oh, sure.
Because I see that they all have things in common. But first, let's talk some more, a little bit about that. Danielle McDonald plays Mandy Boyle, the head of the barbecue restaurant's kitchen, George's wife, and Taffy's co-conspirator. Eager to make sure the distribution deal goes through, Mandy is willing to help set Taffy up for success and act as his alibi as he murders George. McDonald was on the true crime series Unbelievable, as well as the Max original The Tourist.
Which I haven't seen, but I was curious about.
I haven't seen them. It wasn't even on my radar, to be honest. But I guess now it is.
I kept seeing it on like the main screen of formerly HBO, now Max.
Yeah.
And I was curious about it. There's been a lot of vacation themed dramedies recently between White Lotus, The Resort, and The Tourist.
Yeah, true. I guess that's a new thing. That's like what vampires were in Twilight era. I guess now it's resort happenings. I don't know.
Do you think it's like? I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say it's like a conspiracy to like. Sure. But like, do you think people are trying to be like, "Hey, travel"?
I don't know.
Go
That's
places.
That's a really good question. I do think, but I think that there are equal chances that it's a crazy conspiracy by big travel, or that it's just one of those situations, the same as you have like twin films or whatever. Sure. How like you sometimes have like the two films that are about the same thing that come out at the same time, and it just is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But here's the thing: they're not called triplet films, though. Okay.
It's less,
twice as interesting. 3 times is a little suspicious.
It's less that I think it's a conspiracy by Big Suitcase.
Yeah, Big Suitcase.
I think it's more like every single one of these media conglomerates is also partially owned by a hotel chain. In a real like NBC Scheinhardt wig company.
Sure.
Deal where like, NBC's got hotels and whatnot, and there's all these TV shows coming out there like, look at these exotic locations.
Yeah.
Love Island. Come on, go travel.
Sure.
Anyway. Larry Brown plays George Boyle, the barbecue joint's pitmaster, and this episode's unfortunate victim. After watching the movie Okja, George, sorry, that's such a good plot point. After watching Okja, George decides he can no longer cook meat for a living and tries to turn in his apron. Larry Brown has been on episodes of I Think You Should Leave, How to Get Away with Murder, and Yellowstone.
Yeah, and additionally to that, actors such as Benjamin Bratt, Ron Perlman, and Adrian Brody play recurring roles. They reprise their roles that are ongoing as the thread that strings the case of the week together.
Because it's a Case of the Week show, there's also plenty of other guest stars, including Tim Blake Nelson, Tim Meadows, John Darnielle, Stephanie Tsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, not in this episode.
No. Across the whole story.
But I had an observation that I wanted to make about the cast of this episode as we were doing what we normally do and talking about their credits and their work. It strikes me that the main chorus, the main cast of this particular episode, not really very well known, any of them.
No, yeah. This is maybe the least celebrity-infused one.
Yeah, I think so.
In that, I mean, as I was putting together the notes for this episode, Larry Brown doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, And Danielle McDonald's, I've never. But she does so well. They all do so well in this episode that I find that surprising, and that's why I think that it's notable and something to point out is that I wouldn't have known. They do a great job.
No, yeah, finding out that all three of these character actors have not been in a ton, or are rather maybe relatively fresh in their careers, was genuinely surprising given how good I think they are in this
That's
episode.
what I'm saying, man. I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm 100% with you. But yeah, as episodes of this show specifically go, this is perhaps the least big name of them all.
You know what? I don't feel comfortable saying that because I feel like I would have to go through every single episode. But I will say though, when you have episodes in which like the main antagonist is like Judith Light, for example, I do think that this is probably down low on the list of. And then oh my gosh, Ben, Mountain Goats,
John Darnielle.
Yeah. Thank you. John Darnielle was in an like so to have. I think maybe you might be right. Is what I'm saying.
A legendary Cheers star John Ratzenberger's in an episode.
Yes.
Simon Helberg from some movies and also that god-awful television show.
From some movies and that other thing.
Yeah, and I like him better in those movies he's in than I ever liked Big Bang Theory.
Sure.
Watch A Serious Man, folks. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
That being said.
Yeah,
no, they all do great in this, and I'm glad that the focus is on kind of more of a character actory sort of bubble.
I concur.
Last but not least, we watched season 1, episode 3, The Stall. Charlie Cale's presence at a rural Texan barbecue joint causes a crisis of faith for pitmaster George Boyle that forces him to reconsider his role in the slaughter of animals. Unwilling to deal with outside investors and on the verge of a lucrative deal with a food distributor, Mandy and Taffy conspire to kill George by suffocating him in his own on-site trailer. George and Mandy both have airtight alibis, but Charlie is quickly able to piece together the splinters of this mystery using skills that George taught her earlier in the week. And by suffocation, I guess I meant asphyxiation.
Yeah, get it right.
But either way. I almost said I'm no murderer, but I meant I'm no detective. My shirt that says I'm no murderer has suddenly raised a lot of questions already answered by my shirt. I meant I'm no detective.
Incredible. I mean, in the case of Dexter, I guess you could be both, but let's just forget we ever watched that if we move on with this fantastic show, shall we?
God, I really, it is so funny how we went from Dexter, the most angry we've ever been about a show that we've covered, to Murder, She Wrote, the happiest we've ever been. The happiest we've
ever been to talk about a show. You know, it's we like to run the gamut of emotions here at Syndicated with Lesley and Ben.
Yeah, we never said we were covering good TV. We just said we're covering TV.
So let's talk about. So can we talk?
Yeah. This is, I guess this is my staff pick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. This is one of those that like it was your idea, but I was very into it because I think we both already very much enjoyed this show, and you're the one who picked the episode. So
let's call it a collaborative pick.
Sure. Yeah, but I think I would have picked a different episode. I think.
Oh, sure. Which one would you have picked?
I think I would have picked the Granny's one probably, or the John Darnielle one. One of those two, I think. But this was also this was a wonderful choice though.
Thank you. The retirement community one, which I believe is number 5, I want to say. Which is the one that features Simon Helberg. And then number 4, which is the like the heavy metal episode that features I can never remember how to say her last name. Chloe.
Oh, Sevigny?
Sevigny, thank you. And,
and interestingly enough, Chloe Sevigny plays the role of Natasha Lyonne's mother in Russian Doll, like in flashbacks.
Does she?
Yes, when Natasha Lyonne's like in flashbacks when Natasha Lyonne's like a little girl, Chloe Sevigny is plays the role of her mother. Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. I
know. They must be friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that also very much feels like a. I mean, okay. There's some, as I'm sure we'll talk about. There's some Rian Johnson quirks in this.
Sure.
Including how pop culture-y it is at points. And including all of that is, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's here Like,
yeah,
it's you've got if you like some of his other stuff, you'll recognize some
people.
That's
true, Ben. That's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he's in a later episode, so
yeah. No, actually, I think that Hector clocked that. Now that I think about it, I think Hector clocked that one. Yeah, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt appearance. Yeah.
This thing. I mean, Johnson seems like one of the guys who likes working with a select few couple of people. He, not quite as aggressively as, I don't know, Scorsese and De Niro, but like, you can tell this is something that he's made.
Sure. I mean, you could also lump Taika Waititi into that too. Talk about guy who knows who he likes to work with.
Precisely. So let's talk about Poker Face.
Yeah, let's talk about this episode.
Sure, yeah.
I have notes that are chronologically relevant, obviously, as I was just taking them as I was watching the episode. There is an entire subplot in this episode that involves a racist dog. And
right.
There were many things that I appreciated about the racist dog, the MAGA dog. But the main thing that stuck out to me, and I said the same thing exiting the movie theater after watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well. The hardest part of being an actor has got to be pretending to be mean to a dog. Like, how do you do it? How do actors do that? How do you like look at a dog's face and say it's a bad dog? Like, how? No amount of money would make me do that.
It's all right. So I understand what you're getting at. And I agree. I don't know if I could imagine being angry at a dog.
How do they do it?
I don't know how Charles Grodin managed it for so many years.
Aww.
It's a Beethoven reference for this video at home.
Sure is. I remember I remember Beethoven.
I will argue the dog is meaner to her than she is to the dog.
The dog is acting, Ben. And it doesn't know any better. Okay? It doesn't know what acting is, but it's also doing it flawlessly. No, I can't explain further. Don't ask me to elaborate.
Right. Yeah, no, I like the dog.
No, the dog was
cute
great.
Dog.
The dog was great.
It is not the same type of dog, but because it is so small and predominantly white, it reminds me of Wishbone.
Well, this dog, the vet had said was probably about almost 25% jackal, is what she said at one.
That explains it.
Yeah. And I also liked when the dog and Charlie were talking, and Charlie was talking to the dog and was like, "Avenge you? I don't even like you." Like, it was just really great stuff.
Yeah.
Just really, the MAGA dog was great, as well as the voice actor radio personality that ended up with it.
Too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess broadly I can talk about why I picked this episode, but I guess we should probably take a step back further, which is why Poker Face.
Yeah.
Period. I think that this was, as new original stories go, and especially new streaming originals, I think this was the most tightly anticipated among the people I surround myself with.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think there are a lot of stuff that gets released on streaming and you kind of either find out about it the week of or in the following weeks. Mm-hmm. Where people are like, hey, actually this new Netflix or HBO show is actually pretty good or whatever.
Right.
Whereas pretty much everybody in my immediate circle of people was like, oh man, that
myself included.
Yeah, yourself included, was like, oh yeah, that Rian Johnson murder mystery show that's coming out next year, that's going to be a blast. For some reason, this stood above the crop of so much, disposable streaming stuff.
Yeah.
That just kind of comes out to medium amounts of fanfare and then quickly disappears and gets canceled.
Yeah.
In comparison to all that, this stood out as being an anticipatory event that my friends were excited for and I was excited for. And importantly, it paid off.
It sure did, buddy.
It wasn't just hype. The show is good.
The show is good. Ben, I have to know, especially knowing what a huge Mountain Goats fan you are, why did you pick this episode when there is an episode that contains the instrumental piece of Mountain Goats itself?
Right.
Why?
Okay.
Why this one? Why is it this one?
Folks, the lead singer and songwriter of the Mountain Goats, John Darnielle, is a guest star in the next episode, which is the one that's like focused on a heavy metal or black metal group that electrocutes their drummer to get the songwriting credits for a
pretty great
hit song.
It's pretty great.
It's a really good episode. I really like.
You know what? They're all really good.
Yeah, I like this one. I think because the murder location was so unconventional. I guess, I mean, I don't know what a conventional murder location is now that I think about it, but I think there was something interesting about a guy dying in essentially a field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, like,
yeah,
you know, he didn't get, like, knifed in the back in a scary mansion.
Right. It was, I think, Ben, that kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying, I think that a lot of the appeal is the fact that it was a little bit more calculated than the ones that we've seen previously. The ones we've seen previously have been crimes of passion. They've been messy, you know, like all this. This one had a plan. This guy really thought that he had one over on Charlie the whole time because he planned everything.
It's very premeditated.
So watching the machinations and watching the plan as it unfolded just made it so much more intricate and interesting. And it also made it more interesting as a Hal Catchum to watch Charlie start to put these pieces together. I think that is what makes this episode really stand out, is that because there was so much premeditation, there's so many pieces that she could pick up. And that made it really entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do you remember when Midsommar came out, the Ari Aster movie?
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, it's a horror movie that's set in bright daylight.
Yeah.
This kind of felt like that to me, where it's like, oh, it's a murder mystery that takes place in a wide open field.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, there's nothing to like hide behind here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
And now obviously that's not quite true, because obviously he's killed inside of his trailer. But like, still, there's something about it just being kind of a large.
I mean, he snuck out of the recording booth to like leave, and he did go out in the open, you know, while he was supposed to be talking to people. So it was very risky. It was incredibly risky to do at the time.
Yeah, I just think I thought there was something really interesting about the premise of this mystery, which is that, you know, it's a wide open field and it's rural. There's a ton of people everywhere. I don't know. There's like some interesting contradictions and some interesting like premeditation that goes into it that like really makes for an interesting story, especially the way that this show does its fake outs and its setups. Because, all right, bear with me on this. Beginning of the episode, right? It shows George like kind of stumbling toward the grill. Yes. Yeah. He mumbles something to himself like, "Oh God, I'm a murderer."
Well, he just says, "Oh God," and then when who we later find out is Charlie approaches him, he just looks and says, and this is the beginning of the episode, "I'm a murderer."
I'm a murderer, and then flips open the grill. Yeah. In this scenario, what do you expect to be in the grill?
Long pig.
Yeah, a body, right?
I mean, it is
a body, but not a human body.
Well, not a human body. I'm talking about long pig, man.
No, I know my cannibalistic euphemisms. Don't worry.
All right, fair enough.
But like between that and there's the moment where Taffy goes into his car and he's reaching over into the passenger seat and like he's putting something together and you hear like a bunch of little clicking noises or whatever. You're like, oh, that must be like a 6-shooter, right?
Right.
And it's a portable microphone.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, I just love the way, and obviously there's the whole time skip where it rewinds back to
where
Charlie.
There's a little bit of an overlap. I love that not only do they do the Amadeus race really, really well, but there's an overlap, like a slight overlap of time there between like when Charlie shows up and when like it's so well done.
There are like a solid like 3 or 4 fake outs toward in the beginning half of the episode that I think make for a really compelling mystery where I think you're kind of on your toes from like the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, including thinking, oh no, did they cook a guy?
Right. Did they cook a man? What is happening here? Yeah. And then, you know, later when you find out the context behind, oh my God.
Did that it's Okja?
Yeah. That was just, and the way that Charlie was just like, I've only got about halfway through. It was pretty cute so far.
Pretty cute so far. And if folks, if you even know anything about Okja, forget actually seeing it. It's not a sweet little movie.
It is not. It's that he was very correct to have that reaction, I think.
Taps the little sign.
He was valid.
Directed by Bong Joon-ho.
Right.
Bong Joon-ho does not make little cute movies.
It's very true. So true, bestie. So true,
he makes
bestie.
Snowpiercer and Parasite and Memories of a Murderer. Or Memories of Murder, excuse me.
Right.
Actually, I still have yet to see that last one. It's been on my list for forever.
I haven't seen it either. But I mean, it's one of his films, so it's on the list, obviously.
Anyway, I think there's like a lot of like really clever fake outs there and a lot of really clever ways that it sets up the plot. And I'm going to praise this the same way that I praised the other two more detective-oriented shows that we've covered so far. Once again, as opposed to all the kind of like CSI, crime scene investigators, Law and Order stuff that we are choosing not to cover this season, is that this is a show that very much allows me to solve the mystery.
Yeah.
Or allows me to notice things and be like, oh, that wood's going to come back later.
That is so valid, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Because we've talked about the
absolutely know what you mean.
We've talked about the difference between like mystery writing, which Columbo and Murder, She Wrote, and this does. And then like forensic writing where a detective is just like, yeah, we found it. The DNA's a match. It's like, okay, right. I couldn't have solved that, though.
I couldn't have solved that, though. But the things you
can
solve, like, these are so fun. That's what makes this show so fun. And the way that, like I said earlier, the way that they put the intricacies together, that Charlie puts the intricacies together is so interesting. And the way that they portray that to us, like, oh my gosh, when Charlie was smelling and tasting the wood and it was like, little floats of oboe and clarinet and flute and it was just giving us, it was really taking us into what she was experiencing with senses that we didn't have access to while watching this, and so I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it's such a smart idea to translate scent into music like that, especially because the first time it happens, it's not clear that's what's happening.
Yes.
This primarily takes place over two scenes, right? The first time it happens, George is telling, I almost called her by her actress's name, Charlie Cale, about like a good barbecue is a symphony, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls out like a bunch of pieces of wood and she doesn't connect with any of them. She can't tell the difference between the various types of wood. And then he pulls out a piece of pecan wood. And she gets a sniff of that and we hear like an oboe or something playing in the background. And like, I don't think you're meant to initially clock that as being anything other than just a musical signifier of her, like, finally getting it, or it's like a little mystery sound or something like that.
Yeah.
The second time that comes back is when she is smelling a series of the woods that are being used to fire
comparing
up
and contrasting
these big huge like smokers that you may see on the side of the road. We have them in Oregon. I'm sure they have them in Texas.
Oh, we don't do barbecue here in Texas.
Oh, is that more of a Pacific Northwest thing?
Yeah, that's definitely more of a Pacific Northwest thing.
Surprised I survived that joke.
It's okay.
Hey, you know what? I actually did stop at one recently, like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, she's trying out these various woods, and it's as she's sniffing the wrong ones, the ones that don't match with the pecan wood sample that she smelled earlier, that you hear the other instruments and realize what it's going for. Oh, it's that all these scents have a musical equivalent, and this is the symphony that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's like literal to the audience and figurative to the characters.
It was
in like
so
a
smart.
Really cool way that is not immediately clockable the first time around. And I think
I loved it so much.
I don't want to be controversial here. I think that's some good fucking writing.
I concur. I think
and some
that
good
is
directing and editing and all that jazz.
It's just, it was all so beautiful. That's the only word I can think of. It was so beautiful to see.
Speaking of actually which, and I want to double check this before okay, cool. Nathan Johnson, who is Rian Johnson's cousin, and also did the music for Knives Out and Glass Onion, is the composer of this series as well.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. So he's the man responsible for the banjo that always plays when we know that Charlie's about to be on screen.
Yes, exactly.
which is chef's kiss. So I know that we talked about this in our Columbo episode, that Hector and I will like do a little contest like at the beginning of Columbo and say like, okay, when do you think, what timestamp in the episode do you think Columbo is going to show up?
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we carried on in Poker Face as well, because you can also do it on Poker Face. But the great thing about Poker Face is that as soon as you hear the banjo music, you know. So like that's when you're like, okay, well, let's see what the timestamp is, because there's the banjo music. That means that Charlie's here in the car or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, hey, Nathan Johnson also did the score for Nightmare Alley, the Del Toro movie from a couple years ago.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I liked that one. Anywho, yeah, no, it is fun how... Yeah, okay, that's another fun aspect of this show, is that Charlie is not always our viewpoint character.
Yeah.
And in fact, we frequently get quite a bit of story before she ever enters the scene.
Yeah. In this one, in this episode too, I want to say it was about halfway done before she showed up.
Yeah, her first 20 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, episodes are about an hour long. Usually there is a point where either she shows up for the first time in the story. I think in the second episode she drives into town after the murder has happened.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say.
But she usually gets entangled in somehow in the lives of the people who end up getting in situations.
Yeah, the other one, the flip side. The flip side, which is for sure the case in this one, the retirement community episode, and the
heavy metal
episode.
Yeah.
She has been there the whole time. Either the camera or the direct plot has been avoiding her, and then it's revealed that she has been there the whole time, and in fact knows some of these characters already, and in this case uses her knowledge of those characters' motivations and the wood tips that like George gave her or whatever to like piece together the mystery. Where she's like, I know he wasn't suicidal because he literally said he'd keep talking with me later that night.
Right.
Like
I mean, like,
stuff.
Oh gosh, so cool. It's so cool.
Or when she gets to know the drummer in the next episode and all that kind of stuff. Right. Or that she's been working
Or she's the one who figured out how he came up with his hit song.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
But let's not spoil that in case, y'all want to watch that one.
Yeah, I suppose we've said who the murderer is, but like
but not there's a whole not necessarily there's so much more. There's so much more to that. It'll still be highly enjoyable. But yeah.
Is there stuff we like about this show in general? I mean, I know we've talked a bit about it overall, but like I don't know. I kind of like its more cinematic approach. I like the
I love its cinematic approach. I really do love. Here's what I love about it.
Sure,
One of the many things is that it is very obviously an homage to Columbo. Clearly, that goes without saying. They have managed to make it their own by doing things like overlapping the Amadeus race, by involving Charlie the entire time, but not letting us know that she's there. Like it has its own stamp on it. It has its own personality on it. Yeah. Yes, having a higher overarching plot. Thank you. All of these things, make it stand out on its own and make it unique enough that it's just such a delight.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I like its kind of like throwbacky nature.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I noticed it more in the original trailer. I guess this doesn't apply universally across all the episodes, but this show has a real like 70s flair to it. It
does. It really does.
With its kind of like more old-fashioned like title cards in the way it does like is it like Rian Johnson Presents Poker Face?
Well, the title cards are a direct copy of the Columbo title cards.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just that. And, but like the make and model of a lot of the cars is very what's the term I'm looking for?
Vintage.
Hold on. No. It's not vintage. It's like anachronistically ambivalent.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Like it could. This really could be. I don't know. It could be. If they didn't have iPhones, who knows? You know what I mean? And that's so. I really appreciate that about it. It gives it that timeless quality, which I really enjoy.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's like, just double checking. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Like one of the things that tipped me off on that is like, this isn't the episode that we're covering, but Adrian Brody's suits.
Oh yeah.
In the first episode where he's wearing like these, I mean, frankly, it's colors that haven't been associated with men's clothing since the 70s.
Since the 70s, like, the salmons and all of that.
This weird like turquoise color, and then he's got like this weird kind of like burnt purple.
Yeah, the mauve.
Folks, men, what's to stop us? We can go back to dressing like this, I promise.
What is stopping you from dressing like Adrian Brody and Poker Face? What is stopping you?
We can all look like Saul Goodman if we want.
What is stopping you?
Do you know you have rights? The Constitution says you do. Hi, I'm Saul Goodman, and I'll fight for you, Albuquerque.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
Anyway, no, between his wardrobe, like Ron Perlman's wardrobe, especially because it's got like that kind of like 70s, like Nevada Americana kind of look to it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like kind of throwback energy in this, including how it's shot in some places, definitely how it's paced in some places, with a more kind of traditional classical score. Feels like more of a throwback as opposed to maybe a more digital or more kind of...
Sure. Well, like even how Peaky Blinders used, modern music or whatever, like this is just scored.
Yeah, this is just scored. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have any formal music education of any type.
I have a little bit.
All right. Well, if I'm using the wrong words, like, let me know.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. I feel like there's like a tendency, again, like if you don't want to spend a lot of money on, say, a television show's score, because stuff gets produced and especially post-produced very quickly and sometimes cheaply when it's put up on streaming.
True.
It's very easy to, instead of going for, again, a complete original score, to kind of go for like vibes-based tones.
Yeah.
And just kind of like lean into the kind of... I hate to place it all on the feet of like Hans Zimmer's Inception score, but just kind of leaning on that sort of like bum 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 bum, kind of like, just keep it to these like low repetitive notes, stretch it out, dun dun dun, like play these like stings or whatever, or these, again, kind of lower, like menacing sound kind of music, as opposed to like going in and really like, again, orchestrating a score.
Right. Like there's playing chords on SVU, and then there's this. Like there's a big difference between the two,
Yes. And I'm certainly not under the illusion that individual episodes of SVU get individual scores or anything.
They do not.
No, they very much do not.
Quite a few of them. They don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's clear that a lot of effort goes into this. I find the individual mysteries and the individual characters in those mysteries very compelling.
Yeah.
I like the way it's shot. I like the kind of like, again, because it's so like rural Americana focused, she's like quite literally staying out of the big cities on purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, she's on the lam, man. She's got to stay in these little pockets of Americana in order to, which I think is such a great premise. What a great way to inject that into your show is to put that as a plot point. Like, this show is so smart. It's so cool. It's so amazing.
Right. That it has a baked in reason for her to never be in the same place twice.
Yes. Well, not only that, but also like all of the small places, all of the rural, all of the, amazing.
Yeah. The fact that, as someone who has just gone on like 2 road trips in the last month or whatever, like the fact that the second episode takes place at one of those pit stop intersections, of which there are truly a million across this country. Where it's just like there's a Subway / KFC.
Oh yeah.
A convenience store, 1 garage, some apartments in the distance. So I guess somebody lives there. Like, you know what I mean?
Or was that a motel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I mean in general. Just like when you drive through these kind of areas, we're like, how do people... I always have that feeling like when I go through those areas, we're like, do people commute here?
Right.
And from where?
And from
Like,
where
you
and
know what
why?
I mean?
I have so many
and
questions.
from why. But like for whatever reason, the McDonald's Corporation has decided there needs to be a McDonald's here at this intersection of fuck ass nowhere, Oregon.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then
On
somebody
mile
has to
marker
come
118
here.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone has to come here and do consistent working hours. It's got to open and close at the same time. And distribution is going to ship packages there. And someone's got to be there and do all of it. And I just think and I'm grateful because I got to piss. And we've been on the road for 3 hours.
Right.
But like at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird that America's not like just covered in these.
Right.
And yeah, I would not expect like another show to kind of use those as its settings. These barbecue joints on the side of the road, or these traffic intersection rest stops, trucker stops, I guess. What have you. And I'm glad that these locations are like the focus of the show.
Right.
And that it's really just about, the road.
Yeah.
I think that's really compelling.
I concur. I agree with you. The only other thing that I have to say about this show in particular, or about this episode in particular, is that I did have to stop it about 15 minutes in so that I could order barbecue to get it delivered because it made me want barbecue so badly.
I was thinking about it so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I still might.
I mean, I did. I did that night. It was amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I might right after this. I'm thinking about it. I rewatched the episode for lunch.
Right? You absolutely should do it. I mean, you should absolutely just do it. Oh my God, let's do it.
I moved away. I moved away from my local barbecue joint like 2 years ago. It was really good. Those were the crispest fries I've ever had.
There's one that's so close to us. I mean, obviously, I still ordered it delivered because I was watching a show. But but we can't walk there if we want to. So there's that.
The Rian Johnson of it all.
The Rian Johnson of it all. I tell you what.
I kind of wish. So I guess one of the criticisms I've seen about his work from normal people, i.e., one of the criticisms I'm willing to like actually buy,
sure,
and not like that he had the audacity to put I don't know, any Asian people in Star Wars.
Sure.
Is that he gets a little too pop culture-y.
Oh, okay.
I have seen, and I don't know if I fully agree with this analysis, but I have seen Knives Out and Glass Onion labeled as movies written by a guy who's on Twitter too much. I think I understand what that's leaning toward, the idea that it's maybe a little too...
I don't know if I agree with
what's the complaint? That's like a little too snappy?
I guess. I don't know. I can't make sense of that criticism, to be honest with you. I don't know. Got nothing.
I guess I've seen that criticism levied as like, oh, Rian Johnson assumes that everyone's got the same like cultural input as he does.
Right.
Because he spends all his time online or something like that.
Right. He's just too online.
Or a movie by a guy who's trying to get dunks on Twitter or whatever. And I'm not sure that necessarily applies. I think maybe there's maybe something to be said for putting... I think there's maybe something to be said for like making your work a little too referential to other work, especially other modern work. I think that can maybe taint the timelessness of a show. I don't think that really applies to this.
I was just talking about how incredible the timelessness of the show was, the anachronistic ambiguity, how amazing it is that the show has that timeless quality. It doesn't, the nature of it is such that you really can't make it that pop culture referential. You can't really make it that referential to your other work. You can't. It's very much a show that stands on its own and has its own ecosystem.
I think I saw that mostly leveled at Knives Out and Glass Onion because like the family in Knives Out is very like kind of annoying upper class neolibs like pundity or so. And with Glass Onion, people were like, oh, he's just trying to get in dunks on Elon. I'm like, it sounds like he's trying to get dunks in on like 5 different cultural billionaires. Right.
Like that was like the fact that you think that that's this one specific person is kind of a you thing, because this could absolutely apply to anybody. Like a large body of people. In fact, there are way too many people who exist who are like this.
I read Ed Norton's character as more Steve Jobs the first time than I did.
So did I. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. So, oh my God,
because Steve Jobs' products worked.
Well, there is that. But he was equally douchey and woo-woo. So yeah, but the thing is, in the first one, I think what I'm trying to say here is that I wonder how much of the criticism was, oh my God, it's too woke, masked in film bro, quote unquote criticism of his onlineness or whatever.
I think it's good that we have media that's current.
I think so too.
I think there's a lot of reality TV that's obviously covering the current moment and the current era, but I don't think we have a lot of like narrative works that are really focused in on 2023 America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or extend that 5 years in either direction. I think it's good that current stuff is covered and this is like current reality for current people. If that ages it, fine, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not going to age it any more severely than, the shows, the sitcoms that decided to, put masks on people in 2020 and lock us all into that 18-month period of time every time we watch it. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not doing a Superstore rewatch. It doesn't matter.
Oh, right. As we discussed. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for setting it as current as you can. Everyone reads here in this show and in other episodes like very real human people. I don't think, to say he's pulling from like online archetypes or whatever. I don't really think that's the case.
I don't think
I
so
see
either.
that more in Glass Onion. I don't see that here.
Sure.
Anyway.
I
think the writing of this works great here.
I agree.
And goddamn, I want some barbecue.
Well, you should get some.
Lesley, do you have a favorite joke?
I sure do, Ben. I sure do. It is the part where Charlie is timing the murder. And she's running through and she's mocking, like doing the mock run through the field, do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's when she has the big stick and she's just like mocking hurting the MAGA dog, and she just goes, fuck you, dog. And like the way that she said it just had me, I had to like pause it. It was so funny. I just thought that was so brilliant and beautiful.
Yeah.
I am not doing it justice. When it happens, it's so goddamn funny.
Tongues, I believe specifically. They're tongues. Yeah. I think he says that out loud.
Oh yeah.
Mine is not so much a joke, but it's definitely I don't know, it's like there's a comedic beat to it, which is I really like when Taffy gets back into the radio booth and doesn't realize he has his mic muted.
Yes.
Where he's like, all right, well, I think that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and take another caller. And then there's like a weird amount of silence, and he looks down and realizes that he turned off his microphone, so obviously the sound of him crawling out the window wouldn't be heard.
Right.
And then he forgets about that and flicks it back on. Then he's just like, I think we got to take another caller, as he comes back a little more startled. It's not quite a joke, but there's like a little comedic beat to that I think is funny.
There's certainly.
It's a nice.
Well, it's comedic because of the fact that when he first turns it off, you're like, wow, that's really smart. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought to do that. And then like it turns over on its head when he comes back, and you're like, you silly, you forgot that you did that. So yeah.
All right, you know what? Here's why I like it, is because it still is an escalation of the tension, because that could possibly incriminate him.
Correct.
Right? That could incriminate him.
Yes.
While also undercutting that same tension because it's a silly mistake you made.
This is a good show, Ben.
It's a good damn show. That's what I'm fucking saying. I hope we get more of it. I very much hope we get more.
Me too.
Obviously, it came out at the very beginning of this year, and, stuff has been on hold because the studios have...
The girls have been fighting.
The girls have been fighting. The studios have been very difficult about getting SAG-AFTRA and the WGA their money. I hope now that both of those contracts have been ratified, we get more of this show. And I'm looking forward to more of it. The Adventures of Charlie Cale.
Me too.
But yeah, that's really all I've got to say on this, I think.
Yep, me too. I'm done.
Great energy.
Got him.
Yeah, I really want to get barbecue tonight and just rewatch the show.
Oh my gosh. such a good idea.
Because I haven't seen any of it, except for this episode. I haven't seen any of it since it came out in like January.
I haven't either. So I really want to. Let's do it.
And it's short. It's only like, what, 9 episodes?
9 episodes. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Folks, my name is Ben Hamlin. You can find me at allmylinks/Ben C. Hamlin. I'm long gone on Twitter.com. I don't care what it's called now. When I left it, it was called Twitter. I'm no longer on there. But you can find me there. You can find all of my work at infinitybreak.net. Leslie, where can people find you?
Lovely. You can find me at Venetti on Blue Sky occasionally. Definitely not on Twitter anymore. The account's still there, but I don't really, I don't do that. But you can find me at Venetti on Blue Sky on occasion if you're nice.
If you're nice.
Yeah,
I deleted mine. Leslie abandoned theirs. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the show. We very much appreciate it. Shout out to Tara Bossart, Mandra Sigma, and of course Jake Gagnon for our logo, our theme song, and editing the show respectively. We always very much appreciate that. You can find all of our work at infinitybreak.net, where we're telling stories our own way, and support the show on patreon.com/infinitybreak. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another mystery.
See you. Bye.